Hi, my name's Austin Cole. I'm an Apprentice Firefighter in development from City Centre.
John Maddox. I work in headquarters within the protection department and I'm a watch manager. Black History Month is on the horizon and we've decided to come to Sefton Park today and have a quick chat about our careers and our time within the fire service. Hopefully we have an interesting conversation. So Austin, what made you want to be a firefighter?
Well, with me, I'd been plodding around in various different careers throughout my life, and I came to this very late. I mean, I'm 48 now. I think I might be the oldest apprentice that they've ever had. So I felt like the fire service had kind of probably missed me the first time round. I'd have joined this job probably over 20 years ago if I'd have known what it entailed, or if I'd have felt it was a job for me. But I think one of the things is that, and one of the reasons why I'm here is that I didn't really see firefighters that looked like me that made me think it was an avenue that I could pursue. So that was one reason. I had a friend in the service who'd kind of told me about what the job entailed, and as soon as I heard about the details of the job, it was like, this is completely for me. This is exactly what I should be doing. This is probably what I should have been doing all my life, but you know, better late than never, and I'm here now.
My experience is slightly different. I think I worked for Royal Mail previously for about 6 or 7 years, and it was just by chance I seen an advert in the local paper. I think I just got to the point where I wanted to try something different really, and I think my job was becoming mundane, but I didn't see any barriers really to doing any job, if I'm being honest. But I think one of the things that I thought might have been an issue was my eyesight. Yeah. And I think just by chance I seen an advert and one of the people on the advert was wearing glasses. So I thought maybe there is a possibility of like joining the service, and then I looked into it really.
You'll probably know yourself, John. When you meet other firefighters, we've all got very similar traits. There are very similar traits amongst people who want to be firefighters. You probably run towards the danger if you can help somebody rather than running away. You're probably, you know, one of those people who's a bit more of a team player, then that'll draw you to the job. If that's what your natural character is like, then it'll tend to draw you to the job.
Obviously, there aren't many better careers, I think, with better job satisfaction, really. I think, as you alluded to earlier, I think it's one of the key things, really, is that coming away from a job knowing that you've helped somebody, you've had an impact on their lives in a positive way, and that's one of the big things about the job that I really enjoyed, really.
But at my age and wanting to join the fire service, I wanted to do a job that every day you could go in and be happy to go to work. Yeah. Who gets that?
Benefit for me is like the diversity within the role, isn't it, really? And you think of all the different skills and the roles that we do on a daily basis, whether that be going to attend incidents or whether do fire safety stuff, prevention work. There's a real massive spectrum of different work that we do, isn't there? And I think that's what brings that interest on a daily basis, really. Every day seems to be different.
I think that most of the people I've met so far, they enjoy, one, the variety, but two, the challenge. When you turn up to an incident, you don't know what the challenge is going to be, and then you have to rise to it, and then you have to be flexible and stuff like that. There tends to be a lot of people in the service who, you know what I mean, thrive in those type of situations. And so, yeah, again, it was personality-wise, I don't think I could be in a better place.
So when did you join? When did you actually complete your training? And can you just talk about some of the challenges you faced during the training and how you found the job since you've been operational and at station?
We're talking about later life and stuff like that. Bearing in mind that I haven't been in an education situation for a long time. When you turn up to the recruit training, maybe it's easy to kind of get the idea that you're just going to be climbing ladders or running a nose out, when there's a massive kind of academic part to it that you've really got to rise to the challenge. And having kind of not sat in a classroom for years, that was a big thing. Doing homework again, doing homework at 47 years of age. But again, these are the challenges of the job, and these are things that you've kind of really got to adapt to and rise to that challenge, really. So.
And in terms of like the makeup of your course and your fellow recruits, what was that like? Was there a support network there?
Everyone on the course was great. Everybody got on well. The one thing I'd say, and you know, maybe it was a different experience like that, because we're basically about 20 years apart in terms of our joining our service. The one thing I'd say is that I was the only black recruit on my course, And so that was something that I was aware of. It never felt like an issue, but I was aware that, you know, the way people probably had some of the same life experiences that I've had on the course. And like I say, everyone was great, everyone was fantastic, but it wasn't as diverse in that respect as I thought it may be.
I joined in 2003, and if I think back to it now in hindsight, I was probably lucky really. I had another couple of male firefighters on my course who were also of black origin really, and if I'm being honest, speaking to you and learning your experiences, then I understand how lucky it was. Maybe take that pressure off, ask questions, maybe talk to, maybe get their honest opinion on things.
I've been out operationally for about 6-7 months now, and it's like I'm on a station where I work in a system where it's with around about 30-ish people, something like that. There's only one other person of colour on my station, do you know what I mean? So even now, getting out, you're probably not seeing as many diverse faces as you would do in society. But you know, again, maybe that's something that the fire services will address as it goes on, because, you know, to me, it's noticeable.
I found different challenges slightly when I went to station, in terms of, again, there wasn't that diversity on my station. So although I had it on my recruit course, which was beneficial, it was slightly different in terms of when I went to my first station at Low Hill then, which later on closed and moved to Kensington. But I think it's like any organisation or anywhere you join when you're new. You just want to fit in and conform and be sort of a sponge and learn everything, don't you really? And
that's the stage I'm at now.
Just listen to your more experienced colleagues and get stuck in and do the best job you can. And I think, again, just my personal experiences really, on the whole, really, I've never had any real issues personally in terms of my colour, or I've never felt it directly. There might be a naivety to what I'm saying, but it's never sort of been apparent to me that there was an issue.
I think that everybody who I've met, certainly throughout the service, and again, it seems to be a trait with a lot of firefighters, is that everybody's so helpful, everybody's so kind of there helping you, that your colour doesn't really seem a factor. The one thing I'd say though is that maybe, and this is just a societal thing, not just a fire service thing, is like when you're in some situations, it's easier when there's somebody who you can relate to, kind of maybe a person of colour, who can empathise with some of the situations that are specific to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you'll find yourself saying something totally innocently. People won't understand where you're coming from because they haven't had that same lived experience, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I suppose, in my short time here, I've seen people in the higher roles in the service and stuff like that, and that gives me confidence, because I know that there's people higher up the chain who will be able to empathise with situations that maybe some people couldn't understand because they haven't been through them.
Don't get me wrong, I think every organisation has problems.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service is no different. But in terms of trying to be more diverse, really, I don't know whether you know, we've got the Reach network, and that's something like, it's very formative stages really, but that's one of the reasons I wanted to join really, was to try and aid that improvement really in diversity and making small steps, trying to encourage other people to sort of get involved and make them more aware about different people's cultures really.
As I say, I feel like this job, it feels like the perfect job for me, but I also feel like it passed me by for so many years. And again, the reason that I feel it passed me by is because I didn't see myself reflected in the service whenever I saw firefighters, you know what I mean? You know, no disrespect to the firefighters there, I'm sure they'd be great and they'd be great at the jobs and stuff like that, but there wasn't really someone there that made me feel like this job was an option for me. So in taking on this job and in taking on this role, I want to be a beacon towards probably young black or people of colour children who can see me doing the role and think, yeah, you know what,
I'll do it. And
maybe that is for me.
I think that's what's important to understand really. I think you are a role model.
What was imparted to me as well is that you very much had to recognise the fact that you are black, and that because of that you're going to come across some kind of obstacles in life that are going to be related to your ethnicity. I
was born in '78 and I know sort of not long after that was the toxic riots and stuff. That generation above me, some of the things that they went through, the difficulties, getting stopped on a daily basis, if they went outside a certain postcode.
When I was young, I used to get told by my mum there were certain areas of the city that I couldn't go to, and it was specifically because of racism. Back then, if you went into certain areas of the city, you would be physically chased you'd be chased out of the area by people.
What's important to me really is just making sure that, again, everyone in the community gets the same service, despite what sort of cultural heritage you are or race. You're not detrimented because of maybe your postcode.